Hey everybody, the Blackwater Bandits are back, and today we've got a good one for you. It's the PvP video. I'm Special Agent 9, and I'm going to be taking you through it. All of the clips that you're going to see in this video, except for the one that you're seeing right now, are from Showdown Series Large. Now there's a lot of different things you can do in PvP, including the newly introduced gun series, which is what's on your screen. But Showdown Series Large is going to give you your best payout. And as we explained in our money making video, PvP is, as of the current build, the best way to make money in Red Dead Redemption Online. So in this video we're going to share with you some tips and tricks that we've learned about the best way to make money with PvP, and that starts with Showdown Series Large. You can easily queue up for any type of PvP match that you like through your quick join menu. All you have to do if you're an Xbox One player is hit the left D-pad button, select the quick join option, and then queue up for Showdown Series Large. You can also queue up for Showdown Series Small and the Gun Series. Here's the first tip we're going to share with you. Before you go to quick join and queue up for PvP, make sure you have the guns that you primarily would like to use in PvP. Because as you can see at this screen here, you have a very narrow window of time for choosing your loadout and purchasing your ammo when you are in the PvP menu. I'm not sure why they limited the time so severely, but it is a very short amount of time. So if you have to change your loadout every single time, you're gonna run out of time. You're not gonna be able to purchase your ammo, you're not gonna be able to grab your guns. So make sure you have the guns that you want to take with you, and also select your second revolver or pistol every single time in your loadout menu, or you probably will not have it with you. You also want to make sure, if you're using any sort of special ammo such as express rounds or split point, go ahead and load those into your weapons before you queue up for PvP. If you don't, then you're going to have to select that special ammo every single time you die, and you're going to reload your gun every single time you respawn, and that will hinder you very greatly, as you will soon find out as we get deeper into this video. So now you've seen the load in screen, let's get into it and take a look at the first PvP game mode, which is Most Wanted. In this PvP mode, you are on your own. It's every person against every person. You are playing as an individual, so you want to kill anything that moves. However, winning Most Wanted is about much more than just killing people. It's also about who you kill. So we're going to get started here in the Tumbleweed map with Frogman XDX, and this is a very common Most Wanted map that you will see over and over again. Froggy is carrying a rifle. That is the recommended weapon for this particular map. There's a lot of wide open space. A varmint rifle works particularly well. We will talk a little bit more about PvP weapons later in the video. For the moment, we are going to talk about the information on the screen so that you know how the scoring system works. Now, across the top, you will see a white box, a black box, and a red box. The number in the red box represents the leader's score. That is how much the person who is winning the match has. The middle number, obviously, is the time that's left in the match, and the white box shows what your score is. In this case, it shows what Boom's score is. Each target you kill has a value. You can see Boom's value there in the right-hand corner of the screen. That's the amount of points you get for killing that person. So if you kill somebody like Boom right now, if you were to kill him, then you would score 18 points. If you kill somebody that has a value of 1, then you're only going to score 1 point, and that's how Most Wanted works. Yes, you can hog tie your enemies. You will have your rope with you. It's not easy to get the drop on an enemy and hog tie them, but it can be done. But we're going to talk about some more practical tips, things that will actually work for you and that you'll use all the time when you're in PvP. And we're going to start with the crouch, and you'll see me doing that here on your screen. I crouch down all the time and hide behind things all the time. Obviously, that's going to make you a much harder target to hit. When you crouch down, your head's harder to get to. So use the crouch. It's your left joystick button. Take cover, duck behind things. It's always a good way to avoid being shot. Here's another one, and we slowed it down for you to get a look at it. You can dive. So while you're aiming your weapon, if you hold your joystick button in the direction you want to jump and then hit X, you will jump away from your enemies, and that will protect you. They cannot aim on you while you're diving like that, so then you'll be able to come up and fight again another day. We're going to take you to another most wanted map now. This is Tall Trees, and it's named because it is just a bunch of tall trees and rocks. There are very little features on this map, so you're mostly just going to be running through the trees looking for people to shoot. And now the good thing about Most Wanted is that the leader will always be visible on your map inside a red circle. They're always going to be there, so you can continuously head towards the point leader while of course looking for other enemies, because everyone else is going to be heading towards that person as well. So we just want to say a quick word about spawn locations. Just about every time you spawn in, other enemies will spawn in near you. Usually behind you, you'll get shot in the back of the head a great deal. You will often find that when you spawn in next to somebody, they're ghosted for a few minutes. You cannot shoot them during this time. They will almost always shoot you first. It can be very annoying, and it is a problem with PvP, so be prepared. This is the St. Denis map, and if you can get a good position in this map, you don't even have to move. You can just sit and snipe and shoot people from way up high. I often run around on street level, which is a death wish. You will die a lot running around on this map. It is a very small map compared to some of the other ones. You'll run into people a lot. You will not see people shooting at you. They'll spawn in behind you. The point is, if you can find a good spot, you need to stick with it, and if you can't, you need to run around being as cautious as possible. Look in every direction, look behind you, look off to the sides, check yourself before you make a turn. And if somebody starts shooting at you, dive, try to find them, aim on them, and try to kill them. You should also use your Deadeye. Just about every ability loadout that you can come up with will have some bonus to using Deadeye. You'll get some benefit from it. And we are going to do an ability loadout video in the future, so you can learn a lot more about that. But no matter which cards you choose, you're going to have at least one Deadeye ability. So use Deadeye. You know, use everything that's available to you in order to be more successful at PvP, so that you'll make more money. However, we do caution you against using too many of your tonics and foods and things. Anything that you can get cheaply and quickly, if you find a lot of open health tonics in the world, that's fine to take. But your special potions and your crafted things, you don't necessarily want to use a bunch of those in PvP, because this is about making money, not spending money. So take your licks, take your deaths. Deaths will come. We die all the time, and we still make a lot of money. So you don't need to use a lot of tonics to survive this. And I did win that PvP match, so we're just going to show you the payout here so you can get a look at that. Like we said, PvP is very, very good money. And now we're going to show you, this is actually Dude Riz's spot that he likes to go to in St. Denis. As you saw, it is a greenish house. There's only one staircase leading up to this balcony, which makes it a very easily defensible spot, which is what you'll see Dude Riz doing here. See, he's easily defending his balcony from people who would invade. And if you can find a balcony like this one, or this one, and it is a spawn location in the backyard, so you can find it pretty easily, just come up to a balcony and shoot people as they run back and forth on the street. That is a very good strategy on the St. Denis map, because as I said, running around at street level can be quite a death wish. So I do want to say a quick word about weapons, and we'll share some other tips about weapons in PvP as we go along. And we will have a very in-depth weapons video that's coming up soon. A rifle is indispensable in PvP. You always want to have at least one good rifle. You may also want to carry with you a shotgun for this map, or some powerful pistols that you can dual wield. Those will work as well for close range. As you can see, at the end of every match, you will get a look at your kills and your deaths. And if you win, you'll get a cool little cinematic. And if you don't, you will be lying in a coffin. But that's okay. So let's get into the really fun stuff and take a look at Team shootout. This is one of the many team mode that you will play in PvP, and it's always going to take place at the St. Denis docks. There are only 2 teams, purple and orange, that is the dandies and the coyote pack. And if you are a dandy or purple, then you will spawn right down here, and that will happen every single time at the start of this match, always. That is the dandy spawn location. Now, during the match, as the match plays out, you can flip the spawn location by encroaching too far onto enemy territory. Right now, I am showing you how I like to handle things when I spawn in on the purple side. You need to take cover and shoot down towards in front of you, because that's where orange is going to spawn in. As you're about to see right now that I have flipped teams, and this is where orange spawns, just further down the tracks, exactly opposite the purple team. So the 2 teams will be on a collision course with each other, which is why you do want to take cover as you get near the center of town in the road and near the train, which is right on the other side of these buildings here. Here's a better look at the train. There's always activity going on around the train. The train is stationary the entire time. You can climb on it. You can climb on top of it. There are also boats over in the dock area that you can climb on top of. And you'll see Dude Rizza here using a boat as a sniper location. There are many, many sniper locations on this map. So it's advisable for you to bring a long-range rifle with you, because there are many places where you can get up high and do a lot of damage before you get killed, because you will probably get noticed eventually and they will find you and they will kill you, but you can get off quite a few shots before that happens if you know where to go. And that's why we're going to show you multiple spots here where you can get up high and really just inflict a lot of pain and misery on your enemies, because that's what they deserve. So you want to bring a rifle, and a varmint rifle is a very good choice. You can get a lot of headshots with it. It's also extremely long range. If you don't want to bring a varmint rifle, then I suggest Lancaster repeater or a bolt action with a scope on it that you can use to adjust your range. It's not a bad idea to bring some sticks of dynamite along with you when you want to PvP. You'd be surprised how handy it can come in. And you can see another payout here. Boom was the MVP, but the entire team will make the same amount of money on your team missions. And that goes for the one we're about to look at right now, which is Hostile Territory. And we're going to start on the roads map. The goal of every hostile territory is to take over a property and hold it in order to gain as many points as you possibly can. You can also cap all of the properties at once to win the game, but of course that is much more difficult than simply trying to hold 1 or 2. Ideally, you will hold 2 properties. This is the way to win. If you can hold 2 properties throughout the whole match, basically, then you're going to win. Unless somehow there's a team that's holding 3 the whole time, but that would be very rare to see. So here we are on the roads map, and this is inside the barn, and Froggy is doing what you need to do on this map, which is defend, defend, defend. After you take over a territory, at least one person needs to stay and defend that territory, and if they get killed by someone, then they need to go and take it back the way that you saw Froggy do just now. As with all aspects of Red Dead Online, communication is going to be key on this map. So the ideal situation would be to be in a party with your crew and have a crew that you're PvPing with, because you're more likely to end up on the same team in these team modes when that is the case. So the Blackwater Bandits, of course, are able to communicate with each other at this time. And we're going to show you what it looks like when you take over a couple other properties on this map, just to give you a good look at what this particular map looks like. So talk to each other, and then you'll be able to say, you know, I'm down at A, or there's people coming to B. Shout out things like this, and you can work together much more effectively as a team in order to win at hostile takeover, which can be difficult. And a lot of times it will devolve into spawn killing out in the fields. So as soon as you spawn in, you really need to run away and get to where you're going as quickly as possible. If you focus on the objective of hostile takeover, you can absolutely win. But you do need to stay focused on the objective and not fall into the trap of just randomly killing people. You need to be taking properties and getting points. That is what the game is all about. And if you do and you win, you will get a much larger payout as a result. And once again, we are here to make money. So let's make as much as possible by winning every single mode that we play. And you're going to get a look at another payout here so you can see what we're talking about. And now we're going to look at the Blackwater map in Hostile Takeover. The properties that you want to grab here are A and B. These are the two that you want to go for. B is this sort of seaside building right here. A is this big traditional brick building here. Now, if you can defend A and B, they are very close to each other, which makes it much easier to defend them both. If you can hang on to these two on this map, then you're going to win every single time. It's just that simple. And here is Dude Rizza, I believe, at B. He is up on the roof of the building, sniping people if they even so much as look in the wrong direction. So, and as you can see on his screen, he can actually look over at A, the other property, and back up the person who's defending over there. So when you're at A and you're holding B, you want to always try to draw the enemy to the far corner towards where B is, so that you can get back up if you end up being attacked. Just stay toward that corner so that the attackers will come toward you and toward your sniper who's sitting over at B, also helping to defend A. And that's the way that you can win on this map pretty easily. And as you can see here, we're having so much fun. I think it was Frogman who actually went and captured a third property just for the fun of it. So you can win on Blackwater if you stick to that strategy, and it will work every single time. By far the most difficult map is the Heartland oil fields. There are a couple of tall towers here that snipers like to get inside. The snipers can be very hard to get out of the towers once they're up there, so that's a problem. There's a lot of open space between the properties, which leaves you very, very vulnerable to being shot. So there's a lot going on with this map, but we can show you one trick over at B. This is the spot. If you climb up on the roof and get into this spot and you gotta hug the wall, don't hug the column, hug the wall, you will be able to take control of this territory, and you can simply defend it by staring at this ladder. If they want to get you down out of here, they're gonna have to climb up the ladder. So you just sit there with your shotgun. I have a semi-auto shotgun here, and when they climb up the ladder, just shoot them off, and that's pretty much gonna be the end of it. There is a way that they can sneak up behind you on that map. Most people don't know it, and even if they do, you can always go back and take it over again. So that's the way you want to handle that property. Here's a look at one of the sniper towers. This is Frogman. If you can get in a sniper tower with a varmint rifle or a similar long-range weapon with a scope, you can do a lot of serious damage. The only trouble is that everyone on the map is going to be gunning for you. They want to get you out of that tower more than they want anything. So you're going to become a huge target as soon as you climb up there. So you want to be careful. As you can see, there are a lot of hiding places in the properties on this map. You can go inside the buildings. You can go under buildings in some places. It gets really intense. You may need to throw a stick of dynamite or two, as you just saw on your screen there. Dynamite is always helpful in situations like this. And we're also going to show you how you can get down a sniper. It's not always easy to do it from a distance, so if you can get under them, you might be able to kill them before they know you're there. Here's another little trick for this map. As you can see, Boom is mostly trying to stay close to buildings. He's staying in between buildings a lot, and that's because, as I mentioned, there's going to be a lot of snipers on this map. So by staying in between buildings and staying close to the buildings, Boom is making himself much harder to see by the snipers. And he's moving around a lot, so he's not an easy target either. And we're going to give you a look at some payouts that you can get on Hostile Takeover. It does vary greatly depending on whether or not your team won and how many points your team scored. But in all cases, PvP matches are high paying. They pay out very well. They pay out much better than a lot of the other stuff you can do in the game. You'll average at least $10 a match in most cases, so it's well worth your time, and we have found it is the best way to make money as of the current Red Dead Online build. So let's take a look at a very different PvP game mode. This is Name Your Weapon, and this is the team-based version of Name Your Weapon, so you still are within the team dynamic, but there's one huge difference. You are no longer in control of your weapon wheel in any way, shape, or form. We're going to get started on the Atlantic Electrical map, which is one of 2 maps for Name Your Weapons teams. And here's the weapons in question. You have a Cattleman revolver, a hunting knife, a carbine repeater, a tomahawk, and a double-barreled shotgun. That's what you have. Each one of these weapons has a different value. The tomahawk is going to be the highest. It has a value of 6, which means that every time you kill someone with a tomahawk, you will score 6 points for your team. The carbine repeater is worth 1. The cattleman is worth 2. The shotgun is worth 3. There are other weapons scattered on the map, particularly tomahawks. You do have to pick up a new tomahawk every time you throw one. You can pick it up out of your victim's body. They're also all over the map, along with several other weapons, but they all are within the same points framework. You can pick up a different shotgun, it's still going to be worth 3 points. You can pick up a different rifle, it's still going to be worth 1 point. And now, there is a train that comes on Team Name Your Weapons when the clock ticks down to 4 minutes. And you want to be at the train when it shows up, because the train has the most high value weapons on it. There is a bow. There are actually 2 bows. One that spawns near the end of the train that Dude Rizza just picked up, and one that spawns at the top of the train. Each bow only has 2 arrows, but they're explosive arrows. And they award 9 points for every kill, which is huge. There is also a fixed gun on the train. You can get 6 points per kill for that, but you're not going to get very many kills with that. If anybody goes for that fixed gun, you're going to die very quickly, and there's always action around that train, because everybody wants to grab the bow and get some huge kills, as you saw Dude Rizza just do. As you can tell from this footage, this is some truly knockdown, drag out stuff. Team Name Your Weapon gets intense, and you're going to get tackled a lot and killed on the ground because everybody wants to get those high value tomahawk kills. So at all times, it's best to stick with your team members. Even if you happen to be stuck with people that you can't communicate with, just try to stay together, because there's always strength in numbers, particularly in any kind of team-based event. The other map of Name Your Weapons teams is Annesburg, and there's also a train here. You will basically either spawn way up in the hills or down on the ground near the train. There are a lot of places to fall on this map, so be careful. If you're trying to get down to where the train is, just follow a path. It's not worth it to try to jump down in between all the buildings and the hills and the cliffs. There's a few sets of stairs. There's a few gentle grade paths that lead down there, so just follow the given routes to get where you want to go. You're going to run into a lot of people no matter what you do. This is a very close quarters map. There's going to be people in your face every single time you turn around, so you need to be prepared. You need to be ready to just kill everybody that you see at all times. You're going to have a serious fight on your hands every single time you're in Annesburg. You're going to see really high point totals, and you're going to see a lot of enemies in every single direction. You do not have to go for the high value weapons. You do not have to try to get tomahawk kills or grab bows and arrows. You can always post up somewhere and use your carbine and try to snipe at people and just score a lot of points that way. Just figure out what works for you, but figure out how you can best win. Because once again, you can make the most money when you win. You'll make good money doing PvP regardless, but you're going to make great money doing PvP if you're winning at it. There are other weapons that you can get on Name Your Weapon. There's a pump action shotgun, for example, that spawns in near the train in Annesburg. So if there's another weapon that you're more comfortable with, other than what they give you, you can go seek those weapons out. And here's a little trick. You can use the map and just access the map and look on the map and see where particular weapons spawn in. So let's take a look at Name Your Weapon Free-for-All. This is the other version of Name Your Weapon, and yes, you're on your own here. You may also be in tall trees here, which is absolutely no fun, but it's a map that you have to play. So get ready, name your weapon, and try to score some points looking for people among the trees. And the problem with Name Your Weapon single player edition is the map. You will not see the point leader on your map the way you do in Most Wanted. You will only see people on your radar when they're close to you. So you always want to be kind of looking at your mini map, but you also need to be kind of looking around you because people will be crouching down, so they're not going to be on the mini map. So you just need to be aware at all times, have your chosen weapon out at all times, and be ready for some truly intense and insane battles because they're gonna happen. We can give you one pro tip for this map. If you want to find people more easily on Name Your Weapon Tall Trees, hang out near where the tomahawks are. There's tomahawks that are on the map. People are going to be running towards these all the time throughout the entire match because they need to replace their tomahawks. So if you kind of hang out near a location where the tomahawks are spawning in, people are going to come to you. And then you could just kind of hang out and wait around and kill them when they show up. In addition to making a lot of money at PvP, you will also pick up a lot of handy skills that will serve you very well in free mode. For example, you're chilling in Valentine, minding your own business, when some dill hole lassos you and hogties you. Now, if you're lucky, you have a crew member with you who will come along and shoot them dead in the street. But whether you do or you don't, you can always get out of the situation yourself and then start murdering this person, combining all of the things you've learned from doing PvP, such as using your varmint rifle to get a headshot on him, crouching down to make yourself a harder target for him to hit, and just using your map to get the drop on him and know exactly where he's at. You can also climb up on rooftops so that they can't find you right away, and you can just hunt them down in the fields like the dogs that they are. There's nothing that we hate like guys that mess with you in free mode for absolutely no reason. We, the Blackwater Bandits, will not mess with you if you do not mess with us. However, if you do mess with us, you may end up in a video just like this, where we show ourselves killing you over and over again. Killing people in free mode is a huge waste of time and money. You don't gain anything from it, and you piss people off. So it's much better to actually do the Showdown series, where you can get money and XP and experience and actually learn how to kill people in free mode, you know, like you know what you're doing. The more you do PvP, the better you're going to get at it, and you'll start to make a lot of money and be awesome, just like the Blackwater Bandits. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel to see all of our videos, and we'll see you in the next one.